friends, Kathy Afzali here, and welcome to You Can Handle the Truth. Every once in a while, Annabelle needs a break from her mother, which frankly is suspicious, and me going solo is always a little bit dangerous because, well, you just never know what exactly is going to come out of my mouth, but here goes. So today's solo is mostly for the ladies out there. But gentlemen, don't get nervous. You can stay. Who knows, you might even walk away understanding us just a little tiny bit better, which would make you a rare and valuable man. So ladies, sometimes life stinks. Some of you are carrying a burden nobody sees. And if we're honest, sometimes those burdens are even self-imposed. But hey, a burden is a burden. You smile for the kids, you show up for the family, you keep doing what needs to be done even when your heart is worn out and maybe even when you're heartbroken. And sometimes it feels like no one notices. Sometimes it feels like God Himself might have looked away. But today I want to tell you about the God who stops for me. A God who doesn't just pass by, a God who doesn't rush past your pain, a God who turns toward you and restores what you've lost. So, here we go. This is the story about the bleeding woman with a little Kathy Afzali twist to it. So, this story appears 3 times in Scripture in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. So, when God repeats Himself, it's His way of saying, don't miss this one. So, there was a woman who had been bleeding for 12 years. Ladies, I don't know about you, but 1 week a month is plenty. 12 years, no thank you. She bled every single day for over a decade. And in Jewish culture, that wasn't just inconvenient, it was life-shattering. So Levitical law said she was unclean. Do you know what that means? No one could touch her. No one could sit where she sat. She couldn't prepare food without making other people unclean. She wasn't just physically unwell, she was socially erased. Think about that. 12 years, no hugs. 12 years without someone holding your hand. 12 years of people avoiding you, which I'll admit might sound appealing for one afternoon. But for 12 years, no thanks. The Bible said she had spent everything she had on doctors, but it only got worse. Her body was weak, her heart was broken, and her hope was gone. Then she heard about Jesus. We don't know what she heard exactly. Maybe it was about a blind man seeing for the first time. Maybe it was about a paralyzed man walking. But something inside her knew, He can help me. The problem? When she got to Him, there was a huge crowd. Not just any crowd, a huge, crushing crowd. The kind where you're like, if one more person elbows me, I'm going to turn this whole procession around. And Jesus was on His way to something super important, helping the dying daughter of a synagogue leader. But she thought, if I could just touch His robe, even just the hem, I will be healed. She pushed, she squeezed, she weaved through the people, probably muttering, excuse me, like we do when we're not actually sorry. And finally, she reached out and she reached between people and touched the hem of His robe, and instantly the bleeding stopped. So, now, Jesus could have kept on walking. She had her healing. Her prayers were answered. He could have let her slip away quietly, healed but nameless. But that wasn't enough for Him. He stopped, He turned around, and He asked, "Who touched me?" The disciples were confused. "Lord, everyone is touching you." But Jesus knew that this touch was different. This was faith. The woman came forward. She was trembling. Can you imagine her heart pounding? She didn't even know if she'd be scolded, shamed, or worse. But instead, Jesus looked at her and said one word that changed her life. Daughter. 12 years of being unclean, untouchable, and unwanted erased in an instant. With one word, daughter. Jesus restored her identity. Sisters and brothers, if you're still here, this is why I love this story. Jesus didn't just want to heal her body. He wanted her to know who she was. And can I say, I just love that he didn't call her ma'am. That would have been polite. He didn't call her woman, which was common back then. He called her daughter. He will stop for you. He will turn toward you, and he will call you by name. I know what it's like to wonder if God really stops for me. I've shared in other episodes that a few years ago I faced a lonely wilderness, one disappointment after another piling on top of each other, until I felt crushed. And I started thinking, well, this is it. This is my story now. Woman who used to have hope. Maybe you've been there too, doing your best to look okay, but silently wondering if God has turned his face away. Like the bleeding woman, I reached out, not with perfect faith, but with desperate faith. And he stopped for me. My circumstances didn't instantly change. Believe me, I asked him for that. But I got something better. I got a deeper purpose. I got new opportunities I never expected. I got a closeness with Jesus I might not have known otherwise. And I realized I wasn't being rejected by God. I was being redirected by him. Maybe you're listening today and maybe you feel like that woman. You've been carrying something for years. It might not be bleeding. It might be heartbreak. It might be disappointment. It might be a wound no one else can see. You've tried to fix it. You've prayed. You've spent your energy, your resources, your hope. And maybe like her, you're at the end of yourself. Picture this. Jesus is walking through the crowd. There's noise. There's urgency. There are other people with bigger problems. But you reach out and you touch the end of his robe, and he stops. He doesn't keep going. He turns toward you. He says, daughter, I see you. I know you. I love you. You are mine. That's the God we serve. The God who stops for the overlooked. The God who stops for the desperate. The God who stops for the woman who feels invisible. And if you're listening right now and thinking, well, I don't even have enough strength to push through the crowd, then good news. You don't need to impress him. You don't need the perfect words. Just reach out, even if it's messy, even if it's weak, even if you're rolling your eyes at yourself while you're doing it. Because the truth is, he's always looking for you. He's always ready to stop for you. And when he does, everything changes. And that's the truth. And you can handle the truth.